Sundays, 9:30 p.m. Lahat ng yan ay nandito sa Cool FM. Ang inyong himpilan, ang inyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila. Ang lahat ng drama, ang lahat ng tawanan, musika at anong paman. Magkakasama pa rin tayo mga kalamaw. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang iyong paboritong tambayan. Broadcasting live from TVH Group of Networks. Ang iyong himpilan, ang iyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 11.
Good morning, and this is Cool News at 11 a.m. My name is Carl, and you are listening right here on Cool FM Nationwide and on News Radio 93.1, where we wish our stories that here for you. Let's begin with our headlines that we have covered earlier on Cool News Early Edition. Starting with the Ayuda issue with the House and the Senate. Even as the Senate said it was inclined to defund a program giving aid called Ayuda in the vernacular to the almost poor, a senior lawmaker filed a second bill to make permanent the government's Ayuda para sa Kapos ang Kita program. Patakas Representative Garfield Lustrong House Bill number 11048, or the proposed Act of Act, underwent its first reading during the plenary session on November 13 at the House of Representatives, 2 days after it was filed. It was referred for further study to the Committee on Social Services. A similar measure, House Bill number 10700, was filed earlier in July by Caminos Norte Representative Rosemarie Panotes and was referred to the same panel in August. Lustro said inflation has reduced the purchasing power of many Filipino workers, leaving many of them and their families barely surviving on a day-to-day basis, if not completely living in a state of perpetual poverty. She noted that salary hikes still fall short of living wages that would enable workers to live decently and provide ample support to their families. She added her draft measure seeks to make ACAP a regular government program and ensure its continued implementation. House Bill number 11048 declares a state policy to protection of the rights of minimum wage earners and provides assistance geared towards elevating and improving the quality of life of every worker, especially the minimum wage earners. The bill states that qualified beneficiaries can avail from the Department of Social Welfare and Development food, medical, and funeral financial assistance, as well as cash relief aid. It added financial assistance may be given in outright cash if the amount of assistance ranges from 5,000 pesos to 50,000 pesos, subject to the assessment of the DSWD. For assistance above 50,000 pesos, the same shall be provided through a guarantee letter approved by the Secretary of the DSWD or his duly authorized representative. Financial aid for qualified beneficiaries coursed through local governments would be called rice assistance, the amount for which would be equivalent to half of the cost of 25 kilograms of rice based on the suggested retail price from the Department of Agriculture. The amount of each transfer from the DSWD to the local government unit shall not exceed 30 million pesos, it added. House Bill number 11048 tasks the DSWD to craft the implementing guidelines of the measure and to provide funding for the program in its annual budget. In Panotes, House Bill number 10700, which contains the same provisions as House Bill number 11048, the lawmaker cited the success of the DSWD ACAP in tiding over low-income earners through the high cost of goods and services, being a program under a special provision in the 2024 General Appropriations Act. Panotes maintained it was crucial to continue the program regardless of who leads the country. Last week, several House leaders, including Vice Chairpersons of the Committee on Appropriations, voted to retain ACAP funding in the 2020 financial budget, asserting that it has been a lifeline for millions of minimum wage earners who are eligible for a government assistance for indignants. Assistant Majority Leader Ronald Angalo Bongalon, who was Vice Chair of the Appropriations Panel, described ACAP as a crucial aid for those who are most vulnerable to economic shocks. And good news for the typhoon itself, as the super typhoon Pepito has been weakened slightly after hitting land in the town of Pangasinan in Catanduanes province on Saturday night to arrive over the coastal waters of Coronado province by 8 a.m. weather officials said. Pepito is forecast to slightly weaken as a typhoon prior to its second landfall. Weather Bureau Philippine Atmospheric Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration Pagasa said. Significant weakening will occur during the passage of this tropical cyclone over mainland Luzon today. Still, it warned of considerable damage by the storm and urged precautionary measures. Packing winds of 185 kilometers per hour, the storm made a second landfall over the vicinity of Lipa Pulau town in Aurora province at 3:20 p.m. on Sunday, bringing intense to torrential rainfall that Pagasa said would cause widespread flooding and landslides over the provinces of Aurora, Quirino, Nova Vizcayas, Ifugao, and Pangasinan from Sunday to Monday afternoon. More than 80,000 residents were evacuated in Aurora province hours before the storm's second landfall. The Weather Bureau APA bulletin tracked the storm as Santa Fe, Nueva Vizcaya. By then, it had weakened into a typhoon with maximum sustained winds of 165 kilometers per hour. The storm level, however, was only brought down a notch to signal number 4. It will then continue moving west-northwestward and lead to Philippine area of responsibility by Monday morning or afternoon. Aranapo Museno, administrator of the Office of Civil Defense, said on Sunday that despite the Pico region being the center of typhoons in recent weeks, it has not suffered any major damage from Pepito so far, specifically the provinces of Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, and Albay. However, he noted that a declaration of state of calamity over Luzon is not yet off the table, depending on the aftermath of the latest weather disturbance to hit the country. A scenario he was saying that is that only some parts of Luzon will be placed under state of calamity. Right now, we have 11 out of 16 municipalities in Catanduanes that endure the massive effects of Pepito, Nepomuceno said. We are expecting that reports of damage will come in soon, and based on the initial, there were commercial establishments and houses that incurred heavy damage, he also said. We fear that the worst may come for the whole Bicol since most of the storms passed there and many residents are still in evacuation centers, Nepomuceno said in a radio interview. But so far, there was no massive damage in Bicol. That's what we have been worrying about since Saturday, he added. In the next 2 weeks, Nepomuceno said the country is not expecting any storms, giving the national and local governments a window for rebuilding. We have at least 2 weeks to recover based on what the Weather Bureau told us. Although we prayed for more time that there won't be any storm soon, Nepomuceno said. And a lawmaker is pushing for a Gundam bill that would require all hospitals nationwide to stock up on and always have anti-Gundam shots to prevent death or disability and always, sorry, to prevent death or disability from the toxic bites or stings of spiders, snakes, scorpions, or jellyfish. In House Bill number 10976, yet the Representative Carl Nicholas Curry wants all public or private hospitals and healthcare facilities to maintain a sufficient and easily accessible stock of anti-venom vaccines. The bill will penalize medical facilities that fail to comply with its requirement. It tasks the Department of Health to regularly retrain healthcare professionals, provide initial funding for the procurement, storage, and distribution of anti-venom vaccines, and craft the implementing guidelines of the measure. Let me check here. And with inflation expected to continue trending down in the Philippines, the Bangko Sentral ng Filipinos is seen further cutting its policy rate over the next 12 months, putting the country in the same camp as two of its peers in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. This is according to the Bank of America, which said in a November 15 report that the Philippines, along with Indonesia and Thailand, has space to continue easing monetary policy or lowering rates. Low inflation gives ample space for Indonesia and Philippines to reduce policy rates, but they also will keep a close eye on their currencies and financing conditions to gauge the triggers for cuts, said the BOFA report. In order that the Philippines was coming off over 2 years of relentless tightening that brought the policy rate to an over 17-year high of 6.5% to contain stubborn inflation. For the BSP in particular, the BOFA setting C and making a 25 basis point cut every quarter, starting the fourth quarter of this year and the third quarter of 2025 for a cumulative cut of 100 basis points over 12 months. This projection will bring the BSP's policy rate to 15.75% by the end of 2024, lower than the earlier forecast of 6%. But for 2025, both FOC retained the earlier projection that the key rate will go down to 5%. Meanwhile, the report said that it sees Singapore, Vietnam, and Malaysia being in the stable monetary policy camp. For now, many rates should stay where they are for some time. The primary source of divergence is the inflation and output gap path over the next 12 months, partly contingent on the extent of real rates and its divergence from the historical neutral levels, said the BOFA report. We see scope for deeper cuts from Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and Bank Indonesia, while Bank of Thailand is a reluctant mover on rates. In mid-October, the BSP delivered a quarter-point cut to 6% effective October 17, with Governor Ali Ramola Jr. dropping clear hints of additional easing moves this year and in 2025. It is now 11:12 a.m. We will return with more news headlines that we have covered earlier in the earlier edition, with starting with the national and stick around, people. koolNews at 11 a.m. We'll be right back.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by MX3 Natural Supplements, verified with alpha, beta, and gamma mangosteen. MX3, tunay, natural at original. Star Wax Floor Wax with waterproof formula, long-lasting shine. Star Wax Floor Wax, manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified, world-class quality. ACS. Katips Hot Dog, amoy na amoy ang sarap. Kids can tell. CFB. Express the freedom of banking. Open your account today at CFB, a member of Crosslink and supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Unique toothpaste, Maxalaga with maximum fluoride protection. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation, ISO certified, world-class quality. ACS. And Yakult Probiotic Drink. Yakult, panalo ka tiyan.
Land Bank is transforming to serve the nation better. Sa digital innovations, mas napabubuti ang inyong pagbabangko saan man kayo 24/7. We bring financial services and solutions to the unbanked and underserved. Naniniwala ang Land Bank na ang bawat Pilipino ay maaaring mamuhay ng matiwasay at magtagumpay. Together we build a brighter future, from countryside to countrywide. Your future, powered by Land Bank. Land Bank is regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and a member of PDIC and BancNet.
Paano ka mag-online shopping ngayon? Bayad muna bago bukas parcel? Online shopping with ShopSafe. Bukas parcel bago bayad. Introducing M. Luelier's newest iwas scam service, ShopSafe. ShopSafe is an online escrow service which connects buyers and sellers safely online on Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, and Carousel. Magaan ang online shopping with ShopSafe. Download the Mcash app now or visit mluelier.com to learn more about it. Shop smart, sell safe with ShopSafe.
Intra na sa Great Taste Greatest Panalo Raffle Promo para sa chance ka magdaog sa over 3 million pesos worth of cash prizes. Magbaka sa Great Taste Premium Classic at Great Taste White Classic. Magtipon sa mga empty packs kaya ihulog ang mga entries sa Dropbox in select stores. Gani, ano pag ginakulat nyo? Intra na! See posters for details. Promo runs from November 1, 2024 to February 28, 2025. DOH FDA CFRR permit number 1115 series of 2024.
Hindi birong maging isang ina. Dapat hands-on ka sa maraming bagay, lalo na sa mga iniinom na gamot. Dapat ready ka. Kaya kapag may sakit sa pamilya ko, gaya ng sakit ng ulo, sakit sa katawan na may kasamang lagnat dulot ng sipon, allergic rhinitis o sinusitis, Simdex D ang ipinapainom ko. Gamot laban sa sintomas ng trangkaso. Simdex D is available in Mercury Drug Stores and other drug stores near you. Phenylpropanolol and hydrochloride chlorpheniramine malate paracetamol is the generic name of Simdex D. If symptoms persist test, consult your doctor.
Also available Simdex D0 for kids and Simdex D Forte for adults.
Whirlpool Appliances brings you a new era of home living, where we are all about sensing what matters. Elevating your lifestyle has never been easier. From Whirlpool washers that adapt to your laundry needs, to refrigerators that extend the freshness of your food items. As an American pride for over 110 years, Whirlpool is dedicated to creating innovations that truly matter. Experience the Whirlpool Sixth Sense innovation. Whirlpool, sensing what matters today. Making your world a little easier. Whirlpool.
Mommy, may aircon na tayo sa CR?
Safeguard Arctic Fresh lang yan, nak. May cooling bango. At patay ang 99.9% of germs sa tested bacteria. Yung ibang sabon, hanggang lamig lang. Ito, may germ protection.
Oh, Mommy, wag na tayo bibili ng iba, ha? Dito lang tayo sa Safeguard Arctic Fresh. Shoo away germs. Safeguard Arctic Fresh. Germs off, aircon cool on.
Results may vary.
Ayos lang, basta kasama. Konting tanduay light, buo ang kalooban.
Tanduay Light, gaan ng tama, gaan ng may kasama. Drink responsibly.
Spice ganda!
And my for Max Saver Sulit Busog Meals.
Huwag nang gumastos ng sobra-sobra pa.
99 pesos na lang, sulit busog ka na.
Ang mabusugera.
Extra rice sa iraramba. Extra busog sa Crispy Chicken Filet Meal at Crispy Chicken Filet Ala King Meal na may extra rice na. 99 pesos lang in all stores.
Max Saver Sulit Busog Meals, 99 pesos na lang. Ang mabusugera.
Mga kumares, Dimples Romana po, i-mega mackerel na. Malinaw na, mega mackerel. Malaman pa, mega mackerel. Maraming ways para ikulam araw-araw. I-mega mackerel na. Esteko sinigang, mega mackerel. Sarsyado o adobo, mega mackerel. Maraming ways para ikulam araw-araw. I-mega mackerel na. I-mega mackerel na.
Magpapasko na! Huwag manghihina! Lumalabas sa survey na prone ang prostate cancer sa mga edad 40 pataas sa kalalakihan. Para maiwasan, mag-Markup Capsule Food Supplement. Ito ay may mackerel extract at hornicoat upang maibalik ang tikas at lakas. Mag-Markup Capsule Food Supplement araw-araw para always kang ready. Ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Jmar Herbs Incorporated. Kasangga, maligayang Pasko at manigong bagong taon. Ang Markup Capsule Food Supplement ay mabibili na sa inyong suking butika at drugstores dito mismo sa ating lugar.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Markup Food Supplement Capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi maaaring gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Nananakit ang katawan? Hindi dapat tinitiis yan. Ipinakikilala. Oil Scent Oil Liniment.
Oil Scent Oil Liniment para sa rayuma.
Oil Scent
para sa muscle pains.
Oil Scent
para sa sakit ng ulo.
Oil Scent para sa stomachache, stiffness, cramps, sprains at minor skin disorders. May bagong kasangga tayo. Oil Scent Oil Liniment. May tamang bango, may hagod at tamang init na kumakapit. Protektado ka sa bawat pananakit. Oil Scent Oil Liniment. Always feel well. Basta naka-OL. Methyl salicylate plus menthol and eucalyptus is the generic name of Oil Scent Oil Liniment. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor. Mabibili na sa mga suking grocery at butika malapit sa inyong lugar.
Robust Dietary Supplement for Men. Sabi nila, ang tunay na lalaki, matibay, magaling, at matigas. Samahan mo pa ng Robust. Gawa ito sa Epimedium Extra, L-Arginine, Songaria Cynomorium at GABA with proper diet and exercise. Para makasiguro, bumili sa mga Mercury drugstores nationwide. Robust, 75 pesos SRP per tablet lamang. Robust para sa mga kalalakihan. Hatid sa inyo ng ATC Healthcare International Corporation. Mahalagang paalala, ang Robust ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Spritz Hard Seltzer? Is it soda? Beer? Hard?
No, it's a spiked sparkling sensation.
Low sugar, low calories, low ABV.
Refreshingly.
Spritz!
Drink responsibly.
Sa bawat unos, may kalakip na pag-asa. Sa bawat pagsubok, may bagong simula. Para sa mga SMEs, kooperatiba, korporasyon o power utility na apektado ng sakuna, naririto ang Land Bank Cares Plus program para sa inyo. Layunin ng Land Bank na matulungan kayong makaangat at makabalik sa normal ang inyong business operations upang matulungan ang inyong komunidad na makaahon. Ang Land Bank Cares Plus Lending Program ay maaasahang suporta para sa inyong muling pag-angat. For more details, visit the Land Bank Lending Center near you or call 02-8405-700 or visit www.landbank.com. Your future powered by Land Bank.
You're listening to Cool FM.
Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide pa!
Welcome back to Cool News at 11. Let's get on to the national headlines now. President Joe Biden's administration has allowed Ukraine to use U.S.-made weapons to strike deep into Russia. The U.S. officials and the source familiar with the decision said on Sunday in a significant reversal of Washington's policy in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Ukraine plans to conduct its first long-range attacks in the coming days, the source said, without revealing details due to official security concerns. The move comes 2 months after President-elect Donald Trump takes place on January 20 and follows months of pledge by Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky to allow Ukraine's military to use US weapons to hit Russian military targets far from its border. The change comes largely in response to Russia's deployment of North Korean drone troops to supplement its own forces, but the development that has caused alarm in Washington and Kyiv, a US official and a source familiar with the decision said. Zelensky said in his evening address that the missiles would speak for themselves. Today, many in the media are saying that we have received permission to take appropriate actions, he said. But strikes are not made with words. Such things are not announced. The White House and U.S. State Department declined to comment. There was no immediate response from the Kremlin, which has warned that it would see a move to loosen the limits on Ukraine's use of U.S. weapons as a major escalation. Vladimir Dehavarov, first deputy head of the Russian Upper House International Affairs Committee, said Washington's decision to not give a strike deep into Russia could lead to World War III. The West has decided on such a level of escalation that it could end with the Ukraine statehood in complete ruins by morning, Andrei Galinchas, a senior member of the Federation Council, Russia's upper chamber of parliament, said on the Telegram messaging app. Ukraine's first deep strikes are likely to be carried out using CMS rockets, which have a range of up to 190 miles or 306 kilometers, according to the sources. While some U.S. officials have expressed skepticism that allowing long-range strikes will change the war's overall trajectory, the decision could help Ukraine at the moment when Russian forces are making gains and possibly put Kyiv in a very negotiated position when and if ceasefire talks happen. It's not clear if Trump will reverse Biden's decision when he takes office. Trump has long criticized the scale of U.S. financial and military aid to Ukraine and has called to end the war quickly, without explaining how. A Trump spokesperson did not immediately respond to a request for comment. But one of Trump's closest foreign policy advisors, Richard Garnell, criticized the decision. Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump said on Saturday that oil and gas industry executive Chris Wade, a strange defender of fossil fuel use, would be his pick to lead the Department of Energy. Wade is the founder and CEO of Liberty Energy, an oilfield service firm based in Denver. He is expected to support Trump's plan to maximize production of oil and gas and to seek ways to boost generation of electricity, demand for which is rising for the first time in decades. He is also likely to share Trump's opposition to global cooperation on fighting climate change. White has called climate change activists alarmists and has likened efforts by Democrats to combat global warming to Soviet-style communism. There is no climate crisis and we are not in the midst of an energy transition either, White said in a video posted to his LinkedIn profile last year. White, who does not have any political experience, has written extensively on the need for more fossil fuel production to lift people out of poverty. He has stood out among oil and gas executives for his freewheeling style and describes himself as a tech nerd. White made a media splash in 2019 when he drank collecting fluid on camera to demonstrate it was not dangerous. U.S. oil output hit the highest level any country has ever produced under Biden, and it is uncertain how much White and the incoming administration could boost that. Most drilling decisions are driven by private companies working on land not owned by the federal government. The Department of Energy handles U.S. energy diplomacy, administers the strategic technologies, but such as the Loan Programs Office. The Secretary also oversees the aging U.S. nuclear weapons complex, nuclear energy waste disposal, and 17 national labs. If confirmed by the Senate, White will replace Jennifer Granholm, a supporter of electric vehicles, emerging energy resources like geothermal power, and a backer of carbon-free wind, solar, and nuclear energy. White will also likely be involved in permitting of electricity transmission and the expansion of nuclear power, an energy source that is popular with both Republicans and Democrats, but which is expensive and complicated to permit. Power demand in the United States is surging for the first time in 2 decades amid growth in artificial intelligence, electric vehicles, and cryptocurrencies. And German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said his conversation with Vladimir Putin on Friday had given no indication of a shift in the Russian president's thinking on the war in Ukraine, but defended his much criticized decision to vote the government. Scholz's hour-long call with Putin, their first direct communication in almost 2 years, comes 3 months before snap elections in which the widely unpopular Chancellor faces a stiff challenge from populists of left and right who are demanding a resumption of diplomacy. Critics, including Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, said the call was a breach of Western policy for the sake of the domestic political advantage. It was important to tell him Putin that he cannot count on support from Germany, Europe, and many others in the world weighing, Scott told reporters. The conversation was very detailed but contributed to a realization that little has changed in the Russian president's views of the war, and that's not good news. The call comes amid signs of growing contact between Western allied leaders and the Kremlin, even as Russia makes small but steady battlefield gains in Ukraine's east. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, previously Prime Minister of NATO member Portugal, attended a summit in Russia, while Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov is expected to attend a security summit in EU member Malta in December. Donald Trump, now re-elected as to the US presidency, has said he can deliver a quick end to the war and has appointed to his cabinet some security figures seen as being better disposed towards Moscow than their predecessors. This had implications for Europe, Scott said. In my view, it would not be a good idea if there were talks between the American and Russian presidents and the leader of the important European country was not also doing so. As we continue our newsletter on koolNews at noon, fuel, diesel, and gasoline are down with 71 centavos and 85 centavos per liter starting tomorrow, just November 19, with another fuel price cut. It is now 11:29 a.m. and that is it for koolNews at 11 a.m. As always, we will return with more news headlines with the latest one later on koolNews at noon at 12 noon. Until then, I'm Carl, and this has been koolNews at 11. Coming up next on Kool FM is Work It from MediaCorp CNA. Until then, good morning.